back to Afternoon Express, and as promised, we are ready to throw down in our kitchen. Now, a lot of people say, what is an incredible family Christmas celebration without a sweet treat? So ushering us through all things sweetness in our menu is none other than award-winning supermom, my chef, and my bestie, Utimu Mukhwai.
You forgot to say my sweet friend, Utimu Mukhwai, because we're talking sweets, I get on my tummy. Yeah, so yes, today we're going to be doing something very delicious, very decadent, and very chocolatey.
Oh, well, let's get into it. I can already see you have laid out a spread. So, Mzansi, nothing says Christmas desserts quite like a trifle. So, making these gorgeous, gorgeous chocolate versions, we'll be using our Clover Bliss Chocolate Dessert. We will be layering this 5-layered trifle in so many festive ways because we want it to be a showstopper.
Yes, we definitely do. We're all about showstoppers, my friend. And it is that time of the year when abundance is allowed. I know sometimes during the year we skim, we hold back because we're planning for that. I don't know if you guys used to do it in your family, because December was the time of the year where you went all out.
All out.
So this is that time of the year. And
taking it to the top.
Taking it to the top, my friend. So to start off, as you can see, we've got very simple ingredients, but we're putting, or rather flipping, the trifle pandemic on its head, because instead of using a sponge cake, we're putting a bit of a twist. And yes, you know I like my chocolate brownies, so I decided why not make them the base of our trifle today.
Now, the reason why you called an old school trifle a little bit of a pandemic, because there's a debate around South Africa. Some people are saying enough is enough. We always have it on the Christmas table. It's time to change it. Some people are saying it's a golden oldie for a reason.
Exactly.
So let's keep true to it. So this is what it's all about. Here we are, started the layers.
I'm all about the classics, Mina, and I love that even though you don't like a trifle, try and change it up to suit you. I think the problem is that most people have had issues with trifles because of the flavor combination. If there's one thing I can give you, any tips on making a trifle, make sure that there's 3 important steps to it. There has to be a crunch, because you want those layers there differently. And that's where our chocolate brownie comes in, because once you've baked your chocolate brownie, you know it's got that beautiful crunchy exterior and that soft gooey center. So that's the base of our trifle there. And I see you've already started as well.
I've started. Yeah, just run us through very quickly.
Let's do that, yeah. So after that, yes, I want to be doubling up on the chocolate, and this is why we'll be using our Clover Bliss medium cream chocolate dessert. And as you see, it even says on the box, you can pair it, you can pour it, you can sauce it, you can top it. You can literally just enjoy it on its own, because it is an indulgence on its own, but we're adding more decadence to our trifle by adding that as a second layer to our trifle. And I'm going to pass some to you, my friend, and you can also do the same. But we know we are talking about chocolate, and we are talking about flavors and all that. The second point, because I did mention crunch, is that you have to have different levels of sweetness and saltiness and all of that. And this is where our caramel comes in. This is where, if you wanted to, you could add salted caramel, because the saltiness of the caramel would pair so well, not only with the chocolate, but also with the tartness of our cherries here. So we can go in with a second layer of caramel.
Okay, so second layer of caramel. Then we've got chocolate mousse. We also have some cherries, and then at the top we're going to be decorating with some chocolate goodies and gold. I love the fact that we are topping this off with something gold, because I want to touch base on a golden initiative that I'm very, very passionate about. I know so many South Africans are equally as passionate about. I cannot believe we're already towards the end of our 16 days of activism. And you already know what this campaign has been all about. You know, we've been driving not only 16 days of activism, but 365 days of activism. We need to be having these conversations, standing up against the abuse of women and children all year round.
And the one thing I do love about this initiative is that it gets everyone involved. It's time now to stop sitting around and doing nothing. It's time to name and shame. It's time to say, come out of your hiding. We want people to take the responsibility for their actions, and not only, like you're saying, Bali, at this time of the year, but throughout the year. You know, it's time when we should all be celebrating. The last thing you want is to be stressing about the safety of your family members, the safety of our children, and all of that. We want to be able to celebrate these times of the year with those important to us and those closest to us without worrying.
I mean, the time right now, Mzansi, is to reject and report abusers. Act and don't look away. And I think, Dumi, you are saying this. Do not protect abusers.
Yeah.
Report them. I was saying to the gentleman here on Afternoon Express, name and shame.
Yes.
Name and shame those friends of yours. Name and shame the family members that Uncle Smanbani, he's got a bit of a heavy hand.
Yeah.
But not only that, Dumi, a lot of this conversation about abuse only focuses, I suppose, on physical abuse.
Yeah.
But I also want to mention that there's so many other forms of abuse. There's financial abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. So now is the time for us to continue to call each other out and do the right thing.
No, I fully agree with you. And in that way, when we do call each other out, we're also taking responsibility. And then it just gives us a time where we can actually enjoy dishes like this and moments like this without having to stress about other things.
Well, here we are, as I literally am about to put the cherry on top of mine.
Same here.
Let's all work together, Mzansi, not only in the kitchen to make such goodness, but let's work together also in our communities. And it's not only about being a shining light and example in your everyday, but especially as we do celebrate and shout out 16 days of activism. If you do want to get your hands on this recipe, however, please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Made with love by Clover.